I don't need to be asked twice when I get an invite to go see some rare exotics. These are white lions. They're not albinos. Their colour is caused by what's called a recessive gene.
These two are only 14 weeks old. Hey, look at the size of them already. They're the first ever born in captivity in Tasmania.
Mum Kiara and Dad Bakari were brought here as cubs in 2009, so to have a successful mating so soon is pretty special. The white lion is native to the Timbavati region of South Africa, but it was extinct in the wild until a reintroduction a few years ago. 20 years of research by the White Lion Trust eventually led to a family of lions being introduced onto a protected reserve. There's still some concern amongst the scientific community regarding the reintroduction, mainly around whether the lions were too closely related. But apparently, since their reintroduction, they've been hunting and breeding successfully. Today, 3 prides roam free in the reserve, but they still need protecting. Their rarity means they are prized by hunters that visit game reserves next to the protected land owned by the White Lion Trust. But amongst Indigenous communities, they're regarded as sacred. In fact, they're known as the children of the sun god.
It's so unfamiliar for me. I'm used to something the size of a devil, and at 14 weeks, they're already twice the size. Everything's big, the paws, the head.
When they lick your hand, their tongue is raspy, and it'll get rougher as they get older, just like their parents. It's like that so they can lick the bones of their prey clean. Today, there are more white lions in captivity than in the wild. So long as there are, little lions like these two can act as ambassadors for their kind and make people aware they actually exist in the wild. This is such an honour to be allowed to get up close to these incredible creatures.
Here you go, mate.
Maybe one day I'll see their cousins in the wild.
This is the Dryandra woodland in Western Australia. A bush like this once covered a vast amount of the state, but nowadays it's restricted to tiny little pockets. I'm here for a very specific reason. When I was 6 years old, I watched a children's program with my dad, and in that show was a species of Australian marsupial called a numbat. And numbats are arguably one of the world's rarest mammals. I've never seen one in the wild, and this is one of the only places you can. That's exactly why I'm here.
Rob and John are a couple of mates from way back. They live and breathe Dryandra and all that live in it. So before we head out, they want to show me some little critters they've taken into their care.
Here's Jono's got a little surprise for you, mate.
Hey, mate.
What do you got?
Oh, a couple of little wilies here.
You're kidding.
Yeah, he's a little beauty. He's about time for feed too now, so it's a good time. You want to have a go at him?
I do. Is he gonna... Oh, look at that. How old is he, Rob? Hello, mate.
I reckon probably about 60 days, 70 days.
And what have you got?
This one's a bit older, about 600 grams now.
Oh, they both look great.
There you go, give her one of them, Kimbo.
So what's this? A little bit of Farrex?
Just Farrex baby
Okay.
food.
Look
She
at
loves
that.
it.
Look at that. And what's the story? Where have they come from?
Oh, they've just been orphaned in the woodland, mate. So come into care. Hopefully they'll grow up all right and go back here. It'll be neat, you know?
Yeah,
Full
good.
circle.
That's good. And isn't it wild to think that they once were common on mainland? And
Just relisted 4 weeks ago or something, mate. It's critically endangered again.
back on the list. Well, doesn't that make these two all the more important?
Yeah. You can pop her in there for a minute if you want, mate. She
Yeah.
can have a little stand
While
up.
the bottle's
bit of
warming up.
exercise.
So she's not ready for the big open space.
Nah,
You just keep her in a little playpen. There you go. She is so small.
Yeah. When you think about things this small and delicate, it's no wonder that cats and foxes and that have such a big impact, is it?
Well, what chance does that have
Yeah.
against a fox or a cat?
Yeah.
Very sad.
All right, we'll get this bottle for her now, Tim. This. Should be warm enough.
Okay. Now, I fancy myself at giving bottles, but they can be tricky.
Yeah.
Does she feed well?
When she gets hold of it, mate, she'll drain it quick.
Well, she knows how to drink.
Yeah, she goes all right, eh?
That's brilliant. And the best part is that you guys are here, and there really is a chance for them to get back into the wild.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think she's done. There we go.
Wrap her up.
So even though they're different ages, they'll probably end up in the soft release enclosure together and they'll support each other at that age.
Yeah.
Well, that was a warm start to the morning. Amazing. But you know I'm here for one thing.
Numbat, mate.
You got it right.
Gotta go numbat.
Let's go find one, eh?
Yeah.
We really got to find you your first one, haven't we, mate?
Yeah, I need a numbat, mate.
You need it bad.
I've wanted to see a numbat since I was 6 years old.
Well, when you see your first one, you get that excited. The feeling doesn't change. When you see your 20th one, still exactly the same.
Finding a numbat is no easy task. They're rare. One of the rarest mammals on the planet. Rob and John say there's been times when they've driven all day without seeing one, so it looks like we're settling in for the long haul. Numbers are critically low. Back in the early 1980s, there were as few as 50 left. From being widespread across southern Australia, Dryandra was the only place you could see them. Something had to be done. Loss of habitat and the wily old fox were once again the problem. A program was put in place to eradicate the foxes, which was a massive success. For a time, the numbat population soared, but without the foxes, another feral pest moved in. You guessed it, cats.
It's hard for the little fellas, isn't it? All the natives. So you remove the fox, do a good deed, the cat numbers go up and it's equally as bad.
Yep.
It's like a wave continually crashing on their heads, one wave after another, and every time you come up for air, another wave hits.
Something else.
It's believed Dryandra's numbat population is back down to around 50 individuals at the moment. That's down from a high of 400.
50 individuals. So it's a critical point now to get them back. Going from one time where they used to catch them out of here to relocate them to start other populations, back down to having to concentrate on getting this population going again, really important.
It's beautiful, mate.
It's a lovely place.
Beautiful.
Isn't it? And the bit of rain, the termites are going to be up a bit, mate. Our chances could be great. So you want to look at all your little wood piles, all the open areas. Like if something moves, your peripheral vision's going to pick it up.
It's fair to say, we're looking for a needle in a haystack.
You're looking for a needle in a stack of needles.
What's that there? Tree creeper.
Treat, yeah. Hey, how many of them you see by the end of the day?
Oh, my mind's playing tricks on me. I'm seeing numbats everywhere.
It'll do it, mate. By the end of the day, you haven't got anything nice to say about tree creepers.
So tell me, the trees, the eucalypts, the termites eat them out, hollow them out, tree falls over, numbat home?
Yep.
Okay.
But the actual ones that eat out the trees and create the hollows aren't really their main food ones.
What are these, Rob?
That's him, mate. That's what we're looking for. That's numbat digging.
That's numbat.
Yeah, look.
Ah, our
You can
first
see-
signs.
He's followed the gallery. He's hit a big spot here. There might be something.
So we've got subterranean termites here. They're not the big mound that we always
No.
classically think of. They're underground.
Yeah.
And so numbat's here.
Yep.
Little paws, dig.
Yep.
Long tongue goes in.
Whip them out.
Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 odd.
This is a spot for us to have a look at, mate.
I know, we keep
We
looking, hey?
concentrate around here. All this fallen timber, mate, it's great for them.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, hey? That's
Yeah.
home.
Well, you got everything, haven't you? You got the termites, you got the food, you got the bolt holes, you got a nice, warm, dry spot.
So what's the biggest threat to this timber, fire or people illegally removing it?
Probably the second one, mate, sad to say.
Firewood at home, hey?
Firewood at home.
So it's reasonable that we could have a numbat in there now.
It'd be lovely. Well, it's big enough. Stick your head and have a look, mate.
Yeah, it's a whopper. Now I can't see to the middle.
Nothing in here, only one thing for it. Back in the car and start the hunt again.
And this is a real patience game.
Yeah. You know, like if you don't have a headache by the end of the day, you're not looking hard enough, mate.
I'm not worried. I expected that this was going to take time, but
Yeah.
this is the case, hey? You just look and look.
You just got to keep going, mate. The way I look at it, mate, you're not going to find them sitting on the lounge at home, are you? But you just keep going until you do it. It gets to the stage sometimes where you get a little bit disheartened because you look for so long, but, you know, it can change like that.
You love it, don't you, mate?
Yeah. I came out here one time in 2008, seen my first numbat. I've come back nearly every weekend ever since, mate.
It's that enthusiasm that keeps me going. We've been out for 6 hours now. If it wasn't for Rob, I'd be well on my way to thinking this was a mission impossible.
Tim, numbat, stop.
Where,
Stop.
mate?
Just over there, it's one in this pile of logs.
Where is he?
Here, mate, in this pile of logs. Yep.
As always, when it comes to spotting, there's nothing like good oil, and Rob's is amongst the best.
Mate,
Yeah, you got it.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff.
Unbelievable.
Oh, look there. Just going through the bush.
It's been a long day, but a wild numbat sighting. It certainly makes all those hours driving worth it. And tonight I'm promised a wild woylie experience with John. This could turn out to be one of my best days ever. Next day, and for once, I've had a bit of a lie-in. No point getting up at the crack of dawn if numbats are still grabbing some shut-eye. This is Tony Friend. He's been instrumental in the numbats revival over the past 30-odd years. With numbers countrywide below 1,000, he's doing all he can to help them through this current crisis.
Well, the key now is managing the predators. Foxes are reasonably easy to deal with baiting, and now cats, which have sort of moved in behind the foxes and much harder to manage, and that's where our challenge is now.
Tony is using a radio tracker to locate numbats he's previously caught and collared. He visits Dryandra on a regular basis to take data about the health and well-being of the population, and that's what we're going to do today. Woodland like this once covered the southern half of Western Australia. Today, Dryandra is all that's left. A small but extremely important island in a sea of agricultural land known as the Wheat Belt. Tony knows there's at least a couple of numbats that live in this area. Hopefully his scanner can pick up a signal.
That's a beep.
You got something?
Yep. It's very weak. You know, that's straight over there.
Thank goodness for that. I'm not sure I could do another 6-hour search for one of these critters.
Probably 100 metres, I reckon. It's a bit hard to tell, but she's still moving, so we'll probably have to follow for a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, I think we're getting pretty close now.
We're close?
Yep, that signal's screaming. Be one of these logs. No, it's not that one. Well,
Oh, so it should be,
could be this one.
it'll be inside the log.
Yep, well, just this, and I'm going to be able to tell exactly where it is. Yep, strong there. Yep.
You're telling
So
me
she's
there's a numbat
right
in
there.
there.
That's right. Well, it's a collar anyway, but yep. That's so she's gone in this end, I think. We just need to put a trap over here, and then just a matter of waiting.
Do you know this individual?
Yes, she's got 4 young. She was caught in on the 17th of January this year, and she already had 4 young.
Wow.
Tiny little rice bubbles, and hopefully we'll be able to find those 4 young and measure them.
Once we've set the trap, it's a waiting game. I'm told there's something like 1,000 left. That's captive in enclosures and wild like here in Dryandra. But is it enough?
Well, it's not many animals for a whole species. I mean, you're talking giant panda, there are 1,500 of them, and they're held up as the most endangered thing around. No, we're dealing with low numbers, and we need to be, 5,000 would be a little bit more comfortable. Right, I might be able to see her inside there.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there she is.
You got her.
Came out. Whoa. That was pretty fortunate. We've got... Wow, that's great.
Mate.
There's a number.
This is amazing. Just look at those markings and look at that. Joey's. No time to hang about though. We've got to get this girl processed and released as soon as possible.
And let it go.
It's no wonder these critters captivate the likes of Tony, Rob and John. They truly are amazing animals, and did you know they're the closest living relative to the Tasmanian tiger?
Excited to see us, aren't you?
I'm so glad these guys are around to make sure the numbat doesn't end up the same way.
Very coy there. No, that's another girl.
4 girls.
4 girls, wow. Well, that's good for the population.
The numbats are only here thanks to the hard work put in by Tony and his team, and the long-term planning of the Department of Parks and Wildlife here in WA. Different hurdles will come and go, just like they've done in the past. So it's important the resources are there to stop the numbers of Australian extinct animals rising.
What do we do now?
Well, we can let her go.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind letting her go,
Really?
that'd be great, yeah.
I would love to do that.
Be a pleasure.
Okay.
All right, this looks like the spot.
That's good here.
If you just put your hand down over her back and hold her, pull her gently out of the bag and
Where's
onto the
hand up
ground.
where your
That's,
hand is?
Yeah, head's that way. That's it. Oh, she's already going.
All right.
Yeah. There you go. Wow, that was fantastic. Well
That
done.
has made my life.
Well,
This is the quokka, and they've caused an internet sensation over the past few years with people desperate to get a selfie. Given there's believed to be between 8 and 12,000 on the island, and they're not what you'd call particularly shy, it's not hard to get the perfect shot. I've seen a few quokkas on my travels today, but for the most up-close views, I need to get back across the other side of the island. Darkness falls quick at this time of year, so no time to hang about. Quokkas were in fact the first mammals sighted in Australia by Europeans way back in 1658, when they were described as a wildcat. 40 years later, a Dutch sailor mistook them for rats and named the island Rotnest, which means rat nest. The word quokka itself probably originates from the local Noongar Aboriginal language. They call them gwagga. The mainland wild population has virtually disappeared.
But here, they're able to thrive. There's no feral pests like fox and the cat on mainland, and the quokkas are everywhere.
Quokkas are generally nocturnal, especially during the summer months when they spend most of the day sleeping in the shade of bushes around town or in the dense vegetation across the island. The seeds, grasses, leaves and roots they eat are very low in nutrients. So to get around this, they swallow them whole, then regurgitate a cud, which they chew on to extract the most nutritious parts.
And people are told in their signs, don't feed the quokkas. So they're not necessarily in town because there's food around. But what they are here for is this tree above me. It's a fig tree, and the leaves are edible. When they drop to the ground, the quokkas eat them.
Breeding age comes about between 18 months and 2 years. Gestation takes 27 days, and newborns are 2.5 centimetres long. Quite big for a marsupial. Just one is born each season, and it will remain in its mother's pouch suckling continuously for the first 26 to 30 weeks. At around 6 months, the joey will start to come and go until it's too big for its mother's pouch. It will then stay by her side for another couple of months until it's fully weaned. The quokkas are an obvious main attraction to the island.
And what an experience for people to have. I mean, it's not every day you can go somewhere and have a little marsupial like this bounding around in the main streets of town.
But it comes at a cost. Human food is no good for quokkas. They get dehydrated and there's not the kind of nourishment they need from a biscuit or piece of cake. Despite them being so friendly, we need to respect our wild animals. They're not supposed to be handled and they're certainly not supposed to be abused. Unfortunately, that's what can sometimes happen with an island dependent on tourism. I've enjoyed my time on Rottnest Island. It really does give a hint of what the rest of Australia should be like. I've still got some more critters to see tonight, but I'll be leaving here a happier man. Thanks in no small part to the happiest animal on the planet.
What's going on?
You have to wait and see. Hand him his equipment, Rodney.
Hey, mate.
You're gonna need them.
We looking after an animal or maintenance?
You're doing a bit of grooming.
Hey, some grooming. Righto.
All right, we'll head up to the yards.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
After you.
I'm at the Hunter Valley Zoo. My good mate Jason has asked me to help him with a mystery mission.
There's all kinds of different animals here, different species. Some are just beautiful, some really exotic. Some a little bit big and nasty. I don't know what Jace is up to, but I know Jace well, and he's up to mischief.
He's in there. Have a squeeze.
He's going mad.
Yeah.
I peer through a little hole in the fence, and looking in I can see a beautiful and big male antelope. I've got a feeling that this task Jace has sprung on me involves catching him, but I've got no idea how.
We've got to trim up his hoofs. They're a little bit overgrown. Because of the soft country we've got here, we've got to stay on top of them before they cause a problem.
Fair enough. And how do we catch him?
Well, you grab the pointy end, and we'll look after the rest.
Because of the soft soil here, it's much softer than where they're naturally found. So their hooves don't wear down so much. And when that happens, they can splinter, they can crack, they can become infected and be a big problem. So the goal today is to catch the antelope, restrain him and trim his hooves.
But I know catching this wily Indian native is not going to be easy.
Everything about blackbuck antelope are dangerous. They have super long horns, about 600 mil long. They can jump 2 metres up in the air. It's going to be quite a dangerous operation. He's lively, isn't he?
Yeah. Ooh. Geez, he's moving.
He's going to be a handful to catch, isn't he?
The enclosure the antelope live in is massive. We would not stand a chance of catching him in there. The only way would be with a dart gun, but using anaesthetic comes with a risk. Jace has drafted him off and put him into a smaller enclosure. That's where we're going to do the job.
But even having the antelope in a pen doesn't mean catching him will be easy.
You'll probably find he's going to drag you around a bit. Even though he's only 40 kilos, he's pretty strong. So we can get him around over to this side, maybe in the shade. We can work on him nice and easy.
I'm a bit nervous.
I would be.
Good to feel nervous.
Yeah, it is.
But,
Yeah, he's an impressive animal, isn't he?
He is. Enough talking.
Let's get into it. Okay, Tim, he's going to make his way around. Yep, grab him by the horns. Yep, grab him by the horns. Well done, mate, well done. Get a hold of the other one. Yep. Up against the wall, yep, let's go.
Jeez, he's
Right, he's strong,
yep.
isn't he?
Yep. That's better.
Yep. Okay. Yep, we'll get these feet up. Hang on tight.
Now we've got him restrained and Jace is on the back. He's up against the wall. Priority is keeping the antelope calm, safe and as stress-free as possible. We put a blindfold straight on. Thank you. That just allows him to settle. He can't see what's going on around him. Then we can get the job done quickly, painless and let him go.
How's he look? Yeah, just one side's a bit longer than the other, but we'll just shape that up and he'll be fine.
Rodney just knocks a bit off the end of each hoof and that just keeps them nice and level because if they're uneven, they can limp, one can grow more, can get out of control.
Right, one toe's a bit long there. Righto, back's done.
Luckily, the much-needed pedicure only takes a few minutes.
There we go. How's he look, mate?
Looks good, all done.
We've finished all the hoof trimming. Now we've got to get him released out of the yards, in with the girls safely.
Ready?
Okay, mate, you ready?
Okay,
Let's go.
I'm ready. 1, 2, 3.
It's all yours, mate.
Whoa.
Job well done.
Thanks, mate.
What did you think of that?
Oh, I loved it. I was
good.
terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified. It's so unfamiliar for me, but, well, I felt like I caught him well.
You done well. Done extremely well.
Happy, and he's out with the girls.
He's good to go.
How about if we go and have a look at him out there?
I reckon. Yeah, go and check him out. Make sure he's happy. Everything's gone great today, all gone to plan. I really appreciate Tim's help today. It's made it so much easier.
These fruit bats are in serious danger. Habitat destruction, barbed wire fences and power lines have all contributed to their rapid decline.
A nice little sprinkle on top.
It's fair to say that Dr. Karen Parry-Jones is batty about her job.
You must go through an awful amount of fruit.
We do. At the moment, we're probably going through about 50 kilos of fruit a day.
A day?
A day.
Feeding, nurturing and rehabilitating bats for release is her passion.
They're a fascinating little animal. They're very intelligent and a very slow breeder.
Yep.
They have far too high mortality rates and our population is falling quite seriously, like it's halving every 6.7 years.
Halving every 6.7 years. Yeah, that's very alarming, isn't it? Yeah.
Having this many bats hanging overhead looks like a scene from a horror movie, but I love it.
You can see with these guys that there's all different sorts of personalities. You've got this hyperactive little guy here that's happy to play with a little ball, and Mr. Stiff next to him has not budged. And here we've got two mums, and it's a perfect example of when it's cold or just for safety and security, these babies live under the wing. She tucks the membrane around. You have a look at that.
See those people over there? Go and fly to them. Go.
Nice catch.
Don't worry, this is all part of the rehabilitation.
It's one way of getting the strength of their wings up so that they can fly long distances.
Okay, so just building that muscle back up and getting them used to it.
Yes.
Let's see how he goes.
Are you going to fly? Oh, come on, you can fly. You can, come on. Yes.
Into the tree. A little better than expected.
Better than we expected.
Yeah.
If they can't fly, in the wild they will die. Simple as that.
Come on. Just a short one. Just go to Anne.
Off you go, mate.
Go on. 3.
Beautiful. Look at that. Well done, mate. Well done.
Rehabilitation is a lengthy process. It can take up to 3 months of daily flights until they are strong enough to fly solo.
Do you want to have a go?
I would love to. Love to. Do my part.
I'm pretty good at catching a ball, but a bat, this is definitely a first.
Come on, mate.
Come on, both wings. Come on, you can do it. That's right.
Good fella. Good bloke. Have a look at that. I don't know who's happier, me or him. And he was a wild bat.
He's wild.
Look at that.
What came in as a wild adult.
Yep, it just shows the nature of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, they calm down very quickly once they realise you don't mean them any harm.
Okay, and a perfect flyer would have gone up, whereas he stayed flat?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's got a
But
little
he's
way to
improving, he's
Yeah.
improving. He's had a lot of wing problems, he's been in captivity a long time, so he just has to have a lot of practice.
Yep, yep, work for you guys.
Yeah, will work for us.
Once the bats are ready for release, there is always an open door at Karen's house.
This beautiful girl is Rosie. She's been rehabilitated. She's ready for soft release. So she's free to go as she pleases, but she is always welcome back. She's got food, she's got shelter.
With Karen's help, these beautiful bats won't be a thing of the past.
Good luck, mate.
Bigger spider, bigger barrier. The problem with this one is that it can climb straight up glass surfaces, just like that. It's the Australian bird-eating spider, or Australian tarantula. Pretty amazing that a spider of that size can stick right onto glass. Here we go. How'd she come? There we go. Hello. What I love about these big spiders is their temperament. They're shy, gentle, slow-moving and methodical. In Australia, bird-eating spiders are found up throughout the wet tropics of North Queensland. They live on the rainforest floor and are terrestrial. They have beautiful silk-lined burrows and they go under rocks or logs.
Now, at the entrance of their burrows, they set tripwires. And if a prey item comes along and trips one of those wires, you're going to have this big spider charging out, sinking his fangs into whatever it is that's there, taking it back down into his burrow to eat it and digest it. Once it's envenomated its prey and killed it, the venom starts to do something different altogether. It begins to break the prey down from the inside, to dissolve it. The spider then uses its fangs to pulp the fleshy parts of its food and actually drink it. It's pretty gross. Now, they may be massive, but they're certainly not something to be terrified of. And in fact, people keep bird-eating spiders and tarantulas as pets. The right substrate, a bit of peaty moss, some water and a cricket once a week, and you'll have a happy little spider. Well, maybe not so little.